What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Meek, the Uber Geek. Welcome to Pretty Dece, your daily entertainment and pop culture show. Thanks very much for joining me here on the show. Today, I wanted to talk about the world of Overwatch. Overwatch is, of course, not a new game. It is the class-based shooter on PC and Xbox One and PS4 from Blizzard. And, it's been around for a while. People love Overwatch. And I wanted to kind of touch base with Overwatch here and kind of talk about some of the cool things they're doing surrounding Overwatch. First of all, Overwatch right now is in the midst of the Overwatch League. And the Overwatch League is an esports league focusing on Overwatch that's doing some incredibly smart things. So, most esports leagues are kind of the teams are kind of built around corporations. It's like, here's some mouse manufacturer that's put together a team of players to go compete. They're all kind of disparate little leagues or various tournaments, and no real structure, no general rules, and for the most part, with a few games being the exception, no real kind of input from the creators of those games. You do have exceptions like, Riot Games and things like that, where they do have a big handle on the esports side of their game, but for the most part that's not really the case, and things feel very splintered. Overwatch League is seeking to fix that. Blizzard is getting right out there, forming the league themselves, kind of piecing these teams together, doing all the coverage themselves, and they're really going the extra mile to get people involved. So, unlike the teams being, as I said, just kind of a random mouse, a creator forming a team, these teams are regional based, just like actual sports teams. So you have the San Francisco Shock. You have something where even if you're a casual Overwatch fan or a casual esports fan, you have some hook. The team nearest to you is probably the one that you should be rooting for. Of course, just like with real sports, there are some issues to that. For example, a team that is based out of London being comprised almost entirely of Korean players, but the same thing happens with actual sports. The Indianapolis Colts aren't comprised of only players from Indiana, so you still have that kind of regional basis for the teams, and it makes for a really cool, exciting play dynamic. You're actually rooting for your area, your local team, instead of just some random faceless corporation that happened to build up a team for your favorite game. They're also really upping the production value for the Overwatch League. It looks absolutely amazing. The set that they've created, all of the kind of artwork and commentary that they've put together is absolutely top notch. They've pulled out all the stops to make this league a success. And people are really talking about it. It's really in the news, and Overwatch seems like a game that's really awesomely positioned in the world of esports. I am the filthiest of casuals when it comes to playing Overwatch, but it does seem like a game that has a ton of depth for people who are really good at it, and a lot of varying strategies, and a lot of push and pull when it comes to the gameplay. So, I guess props to Blizzard for making a game that's good at that. Aside from the actual gameplay and professional level play of Overwatch, I've been thinking about Overwatch lately on kind of a different front, and that is the storytelling front. So I picked up a comic book recently, the Overwatch Anthology here, and this is a collection of the first year of comics they've put out supporting Overwatch. And there are 12 issues, and I paid money for this comic, but if you want to read all these comics, they are online for free. You can go download those, but I've got the physical version here. And it's really impressive, the world they've built up around Overwatch, which is something I've been thinking about a lot recently. With the Overwatch League starting and you're looking at all these heroes, they could have easily just made a game, designed a bunch of characters, thrown them in and said, here it is, and not given you a story at all. Instead, they've built this incredibly vibrant world that has this, ridiculously rich backstory, focusing on this, G.I. Joe-like team that is the Overwatch team. And not even that, they have this team that was created, formed by the UN. They have this crisis that revolves around robots and automatons and their rights, whether they should have some or don't have any. They have this kind of terrorist organization in Talon. They have the entire Overwatch League being dismantled and then reformed, kind of pseudo again 6 years later. They have characters who were thought dead and now are back. They have characters who were missing and now are kind of masquerading as these other sort of masked vigilantes. There's so much to the Overwatch lore when you dig in, and the Overwatch Anthology series really just touches on that as well. So the anthology series here, again, it is an anthology, a true anthology. So each of the stories focuses on a different character, has a different setting. It isn't a continual through line. So if you're expecting, 12 issues that are going to make perfect sense from beginning to end in one cohesive story, that's not what you're getting here. But you are getting kind of 12 individual little glimpses into the world of Overwatch, done by different writers, different artists, different colorers, and it's really fun and it's really great. You get kind of little snapshots of different characters, different character interactions. You get little pieces of information about the backstory. You understand that characters have history, and you get a little taste of some of those things. So I really love the world building that Overwatch has done, and how they have peppered that throughout the videos they've released, through the comics like this, and even through the game world itself, without just beating you over the head with it and showing you a 30-minute cutscene when you boot up the game. So really, really, truly fantastic, kind of across the board, Blizzard doing fantastic stuff with Overwatch. So that's going to do it for Pretty Dece for today. Thank you very much for joining me as we examine the game of Overwatch. Make sure that you like Pretty Dece on Facebook, facebook.com/PrettyDeceShow. Follow me on Twitter @PrettyDeceShow, and visit PrettyDeceShow.com. I'll be back tomorrow for another daily episode. In the meantime, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel, on the podcast, and in the Anchor app, so you never miss any of the content.